Stop killing children! Stop bombing Gaza! Stop bombing Gaza! Stop killing children! Stop killing children! Stop bombing Gaza! Stop bombing Gaza!
There'll be lots of things happening. People giving out leaflets for the big demo next week on the 11th, next Saturday on the 11th. But then on Friday we're going to have a demonstration oriented to Keir Starmer outside Crowndale Centre, 4:30 to 5:30, because for us anyway, some of us, he's our MP. For everybody, he's the leader of the opposition. That should mean opposition. We don't have an opposition. We've got... Shame on Keir Starmer, shame on him in lots of ways actually, for taking away our voice and not giving us an opposition in a lot of things. But here we are, and we've got people dying in their thousands, injured in their tens of thousands, disappearing under rubble, nearly starving, children beginning to die of lack of water. And he cannot see his way to a ceasefire. A humanitarian pause, give them a bit to eat and then bomb them, is outrageous. And as somebody who's a human rights lawyer and ought to know about human rights and ought to know about international humanitarian law, which was specifically put into place after the Second World War to protect against further genocides, it is disgusting to know what is happening in Gaza and in the West Bank, by the way. It is disgusting that we don't have an opposition leader who will stand up and with the thousands and millions in this country who are sickened to their hearts will actually stop and say, ceasefire now.
Keir Starmer! Shame on you! Keir Starmer! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
It was Lord Balfour who issued the Balfour Declaration in 1917, not because he loved the Jews, but because he thought he could use the Jews to further the interests of the British state, of British imperialism. Lord Balfour was actually an anti-Semite. He carried out the Aliens Act in 1905, which tried to stop refugees, Jewish refugees fleeing persecution in Eastern Europe from entering the UK. We must all work together now for Palestinian freedom. Palestine and the cause of Palestine and the cause of Jewish freedom are inextricably linked. We must fight for a single... I believe the future lies in a single democratic state in which Palestinians and Israeli Jews live side by side as equals. The Palestinians have a right to their own state if they wish it, but I would hope that Palestinians and Israeli Jews would live eventually side by side in a single democratic state, in which there is no privileged group that dominates the other. In the meantime, we must carry on our mobilization, very impressive mobilization for Gaza, for the people of Gaza. Palestinians depend enormously on international solidarity. This is a very impressive gathering, to be followed by an equally impressive gathering, no doubt, at Trafalgar Square next at 2:30. And next Saturday, hopefully we'll have an even bigger demonstration to demonstrate our support for Palestine that will exceed the hundreds of thousands, some say 500,000, that marched last Saturday. Also, onward to Trafalgar Square and onward to build an even greater, stronger campaign in support of Palestine. Thank you all for coming.
Part of the Momentum, Camden and Islington Momentum, Paul Rennie. I'm also part of Unison. Both those organisations are calling for a ceasefire, and it's important that we had a demonstration, in a local demonstration. We had it in Camden because this is obviously Keir Starmer's constituency. I do know that Starmer wilts under pressure sometimes, and if enough people protest, then hopefully will have an effect. So Camden Momentum, along with PSC and South East Solidarity Group, got together on Tuesday and came together with other groups from Camden and decided that we would have a rally here at Euston Station. Wasn't sure how many people were going to turn up. I think it was a fabulous turnout, and shows the strength of feeling. Sir Keir, 20 years ago I was a printer. I think I could print again. I think 20 years ago you was a human rights lawyer. I think you've got to remember what a human rights lawyer means, and you've got to call out war crimes. If you can call out war crimes in Ukraine, you can call out war crimes for the people of Gaza.
You've just been at the protest in Euston to call for a ceasefire. Can you tell people what you think about Keir Starmer?
Yes, I mean, I think his stance on this crisis in Palestine is disgraceful. I mean, he should stop calling himself a human rights lawyer. I think they should not put that in his election campaign publicity. I was a member of the Labour Party and I resigned after I heard his speech to the Labour Friends of Israel, where he talked all this rubbish, taking it from the Zionist book that they made, that Israelis made the desert bloom. What is this? What is this? They burned orchards and orchards of olive trees in Palestine after expelling the people. I mean, we have been witnessing this for so many decades now. I am a grey-haired old woman. We are still witnessing this. This has to stop. By this, I think, now there's this huge divide between ordinary people and their rulers who are shameless, who are absolutely without any principle. They're only thinking about their own power machinations, and this is the whole imperial powers supporting Israel to do its damnedest on the people of Palestine. And we cannot abide by this. The people all over the world should really stand with the Palestinians, who symbolize everything today that is wrong with this world. The way imperialism has screwed up this world. And we have to stand with them. Come to the protest, everybody, next week. Thank you very much.